Engine 1 for Car 1. Car 1's on scene. Assume in command. Give me a C.A.N report.
What's going on, everybody? This is Mike Goldstein, Stickers of the C.A.N report. Nozzle Tov, everybody. I have got a very special guest. I think you could probably all tell by her shirt who she might work for. This is Lydia Jackson of Mercedes Textiles. You probably out there, a lot of you use the hose or something along the lines of Mercedes Textiles. We have her on today to talk about what Mercedes is, what they do for the company, and just all the great things that you guys bring to the table for the fire service. Lydia, I'm so happy to have you on the C.A.N report. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks, Mike. And thank you so much for inviting me on. I was beyond flattered because, I'm just a girl. I say that, but I'm not a firefighter. So I think it's great to be part of this community. And this is what I love. And I love getting to talk to you guys. So so thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. We've met a bunch of times at different venues, and especially at FDIC. We became good friends. And it was just a joy to be around you and to meet everybody there. And I just had to have you on the program because you're always just so vibrant. You're so full of life, and you love working for Mercedes. And that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about, like how you have so much passion for this company that does so much for all of us. So before we jump into your bio, everybody, if you haven't done it yet, please click that button, subscribe, like, follow. It helps to keep this all going. It makes me be aware that you guys are actually liking what I'm doing, and it helps, just with the whole program. So please do that. That helps a lot. Lets me know that I can keep on going with this. So we're going to get into the bio of Lydia. Lydia Jackson is the marketing director of Mercedes. Lydia Jackson is the marketing director at Mercedes Textiles, where for the past 5 years, she's been the voice and vision behind the brand. She's known for building knowyourhose.com into a go-to resource for firefighters, and for creating campaigns like Be Legendary and Make the Push that connect technical excellence with community impact. Lydia's passion for the fire service runs deep, sparked with friendships, strengthened by advocacy for firefighter mental health and cancer prevention, and carried by a belief that it's not just hose, it's about lives. Beyond her role, she is a proud advocate, a storyteller, and wild hair chameleon. And that is totally true. I love it. Man, that's awesome. I love that, Lydia. And what's cool is you have here, like, you there's some things I didn't know. Like you got you're a big advocate for mental health, and cancer prevention. And I actually didn't realize you did the that page for Know Your Hose as well, which I love using. I go to that a lot for a very good resource for looking for calculations and hose friction loss and coefficients and everything else. So Lydia, tell us about yourself. How did you start with all of this?
Well, I this job weirdly fell into my lap. It came out of nowhere. I was on mat leave, and my best friend who started her own firefighter brand. She owns Soot, which is a personal decon line. She and I had worked together. We've known each other for years and years and years. Her husband is a firefighter, and she obviously built her whole product line around firefighters. So I'd been working with her for a while. And obviously I know her husband, who is the firefighter. But one day, I guess Jamie Emblem from Mercedes reached out to her looking for a marketing director. She doesn't even know why he reached out to her. Like, she's not actually sure how they know each other at all. But yeah, so she was obviously busy building Soot. So she was like, "Hey, Lydia, like this opportunity's here. Do you want to talk to them?" And I was like, "They're not gonna go for me." Like, I had blue hair at the time. Like, I was like, "This is not my bag, man. Like, I don't know if I can go into that world. Like, that's not what I do." I also wasn't a marketing director for the last few years before that. I was more of a creative strategist. I was doing like tech, experiential marketing. So I was doing more like putting tech and experiences together to make cool stuff. So I was like, I don't know, but all right, I'll talk to them. So I had a great meeting with them, and I mean, despite the blue hair, they gave me the chance to take on their marketing because they wanted something different. They were not thrilled with where they were at the time, and they just wanted something with someone with vision is what they wanted. So apparently I
And you
fit the
had
bill.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
this job
Okay.
came out of nowhere, but I've been loving it. I mean, 5 years in, and I'm still very passionate about it. I feel very blessed with this job.
That's fantastic. And I love they kind of just gave you a shot
Yeah.
and you took it and you ran with it and here you are and just doing great things.
Yeah.
Now, Mercedes obviously is based out of Canada.
Yeah.
Where are you based out of?
I am out of Canada as well. I'm like
Okay.
just to the east of Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Not too far from
Well,
you. I'm like a hop, skip, and a
yeah.
jump up from New Hampshire.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got into the marketing part of it.
Yeah.
Now, did you have to start learning about what we do as
Oh
work
man.
to make yourself a good marketing director?
Yes. I love this part of my story because it was really something that I took seriously. Like when I started with Mercedes, it wasn't long. Actually, it was the same year that I started that we launched um, Super 2. We launched Kraken EXO Super 2. And it was at the time they didn't have the 2.25 category, right? It was sort of its own special hybrid. Um, so I wanted to market it well. I wanted to be smart about it. Especially because the point of that hose was to work smarter, not harder, right? So
Yeah.
I needed to understand how and why, because if I didn't understand that, then I couldn't help you understand why this hose was better for you, right?
Hmm.
So at the time, I was working with some very amazing firefighters like Kevin Pfluger and my friend Dave Quick. And I mean, Dave's passion for specs is well known, and he was kind of my mentor in learning a lot about just the science of fire hose and the science of flows and like how nozzle pairing and the Freeman ratio and stuff like that. So I dove into that because honestly that's the kind of person I am. I need to know. If I'm going to market it, I need to understand it. So yeah, I dove right in. I give all the kudos to my firefighter coworkers like Kevin and Dave and Mike, Sherb, and they were really, you know, they were kind of my guiding path in terms of understanding what I needed to know in order to talk about hose and market hose effectively. So, and
Sure.
I actually loved
Yeah.
it.
No.
It was a weird thing that I was like, I'm not gonna like this. This is gonna be boring. And I was like, no, this is cool. Like I like this. So yeah,
I think it helps when you have people like you just mentioned that those are incredible people that you had mentoring you
yeah,
and to educate you. And I think it helps when you have people who love their work and have a passion for the craft
definitely.
that can pour that into you and make it exciting. It's different than sitting in a classroom and droning on, about coefficients and Freeman, theories, and you can do it all day long and not really give a meaning behind it. You have to have that emotion and that passion and that meaning, and then people eventually start understanding and absorbing it. It's all in presentation, right? And
Yeah,
you have an amazing core group of people that can deliver that information so well
yeah,
because they love it, and it's not talking numbers, but it's talking about why we need to understand those numbers of
yeah,
why it's important that these figures and these coefficients and the Freeman ratio and all that stuff matters to us because it's our lives are on the line.
yeah,
So that really helps to make a difference and really, help you to hone into it. And
yeah.
again, you have amazing mentors to give you that information. So it says a lot about them that
Yes,
they can make you love it so much by just being on the outside and hearing them talk about it.
yeah.
And I'm sure they probably showed you reasons why as well.
Oh,
Like,
totally.
so explain some of the hands-on portions. Did you get to actually use any of this equipment and these products?
So, I did recently actually. We were down in Nashville and I got to play with one of our prototype hoses that we were working on, which was because I don't think weirdly, I think I did get on the line when we filmed our Super 2 promotions. We did that down in Manchester. We did that down in Manchester, actually, where you live. We're near where you live.
Honestly, it's really weird that you say down in Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
Because in New Hampshire, we always say up here and up there and then down there.
Yeah.
So now that you're above me, it's really
Yeah,
weird for you to say down here.
Yeah, but I got to hold it there, and I got to, feel just how powerful it is because, not being a firefighter, holding a 2.5-inch line flowing, 265 is like, oh, this is hard.
Yeah.
So I got to get hands on, but even if I wasn't hands on, I got to stand next to them and have them show me, right? Like they could literally show me the difference between this line and this line, or this pairing of hose and nozzle versus this pairing of hose and nozzle. So they really gave me that insight. And then, like I said, recently I was down in Nashville working on some R&D and got to hold the hose and compare, the ways things feel. And yeah, like you said, I have great mentors and I have a great crew around me. So I had Caleb Langer helping me learn how to hold the hose properly so it didn't bash me in the face. And it was great because they're there to, if not let me experience it, then at least really show me, right?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to explain when I'm explaining things in marketing, right? In the marketing of the hose.
So you're taking that information and you're getting a hands-on experience.
Yeah.
And then how do you apply that to your marketing?
Well, I think so. That's a heavy question because there's a lot of things that go into my approach to marketing, and I don't know that everybody approaches it the way that I do, right?
I feel like, because people when they think of marketing, you're trying to come up with that niche, you're trying to come up with that catchphrase or a certain imagery that's really going to capture people, and the cool music and cool colors and catchphrases is great, but you also need to make sure that people are believing in the product that you're selling. So marketing is a trust thing as well. So how do you really develop something like that?
Yeah, well, I think trust is earned. Trust is earned over time. So it's earned by our product proving itself for you. I think the best part about marketing Mercedes for me was that I felt very quickly, given my crew and what they were saying and the experiences I had and the things I heard from people in the field, that this product was not. I'm not marketing baloney, right? I'm not marketing garbage. I'm marketing a high quality, high performance product that proves its value, right? It's almost like I don't even have to sell it because it kind of sells itself if you give it the chance, right? And if that's what you're looking for, and if you make sure you're matching it to your needs, right? So in that sense, education became what I was marketing, right? Because I felt like the product kind of sold itself once you knew about it, once you had a chance to get hands on, once you knew what you were looking for and what you were trying to do. That's why Know Your Hose became a hashtag for me when we launched Super 2. It started as a hashtag. Obviously, it's a tip of the hat to Elkhart and their Know Your Flow. So I was like, well, yes, know your flow, but there's two parts to that, right? The hose is a big part of that. So I wanted to talk about the other side of it. They've got the nozzle side of it, and I wanted to talk about the hose side of it. So, we developed that, and I started pushing more of that type of content, but I didn't want to be that type of education where it's like nobody wants to pay attention because, like you said, it drones on or it's boring. So to me, it was this nice mesh of I want to try to capture when you go to see someone like Kevin Pfluger talk about hose, that passion that he has for the job shines, right?
Yeah.
It really does. And it makes what you're listening to so much more engaging and so much more exciting to learn. So I wanted to capture the community of firefighters that I was experiencing, because that brotherhood and that camaraderie and that passion was so palpable that's what I was like, that to me was where the difference lies in how I market something like Mercedes, because I wanted to speak to people rather than
Sure.
at them, you know?
I love it. No, that's great. I mean, you really do explain and capture a lot of that. And again, it goes back to passion. I love how energetic you are about delivering that message to all of us and understanding, like you use the words perfectly, and how you capture what we talk about: passion and camaraderie and brotherhood, and that also goes with what we're putting in our hands to help put out those fires.
Yeah.
And we believe in that message, and we believe in a product, and like those standards like Elkhart, those are our standard. People believe in that product because it's tradition, it's tried and true.
Yeah.
And I think Mercedes, now how long has Mercedes been out?
So Mercedes is almost 50 years old. They're
Nice.
I think 48, 49, like 48. So yeah, they're almost.
And they've done a great job. And so again, like tried and true tradition, and a lot of people know and understand Mercedes.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really and it's a whole market, right? There's such amazing products out there for hoses and nozzles, but you guys really have done a really good job with delivering new updated technology and about the product. And can you give us, the people who don't know Mercedes, and again, I know you're not the technical expert, but what can you, as a marketing director, what makes Mercedes stand out above the rest?
So we package our products, particularly our Kraken EXO line, as a superior all-around fire hose. So, we have superior packability, and packability is not just for your pretty stacks. It pulls better. You're going to deploy better if it packs pretty. If it, you're going to be able to get that hose out faster. So it's packable, it's flexible, it's durable, and then obviously it has some of the lowest friction loss in the industry. So which makes a difference in certain scenarios and for certain things. And then I think the biggest thing that sets us apart in terms of like our just what we make is we make everything in-house. So we make these couplings in-house. They're ours. And we design them, we engineer them, so it allows us to make modifications and tweaks that give you better flow, that give you little extras like our way out arrows that are designed for just as that kind of extra egress precautionary thing, precautionary tool. So yeah, I think in general, like Mercedes is, the Kraken line is designed to be to hit all the things that it needs to hit for you to do your job well, safely and effectively and efficiently. Like we want you to get in, knock it down, get out, and go home at the end of the day.
And so again, for the Know Your Hose, you incorporated that and talking about couplings, and I'm on your page right now. And what I'll do is I'm going to share that so other people can see it, and we're going to go and talk about Know Your Hose, and there we go. So you have your page here, Know Your Hose, Mercedes Textiles. You built this page, correct?
Yeah, I built that whole baby, that whole website.
That's amazing. I love it.
Thanks.
So you've got your hose specs. It's a really good thing. Oh, and look, we got some promos here.
Yeah.
We got the Salt Stash, Stash Salt. I'm sorry, guys. Stash Salt and Mercedes. So that's a quick promo right there. So if anybody's looking for some sweet swag and some sweet mustache wax, Stash Salt, Griffin Coiner. He is a solid guy, and Mercedes is teaming up with him. Now, is this all you're doing? Did you do this?
Yes.
Is this your fault?
Yeah, it is my fault. I drew that thing. Well, my fault, mine and Vanessa's, my marketing sister. She at Mercedes now. She really loved the Santa that I drew. And I didn't really get to do anything with it, but I put it out on Instagram as just like a silly thing for Christmas. And she's like, we should make a Christmas in July with that Santa. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And then, you know, obviously I just love all the mustaches in the fire industry. So I've
Man,
always loved
there's
Stash
amazing
Salt.
stashes.
Yeah,
He's a great guy.
totally
So
great guy.
I'll give him a shout out too. If you haven't done yet, please check out Stash Salt. Griffin Coiner does a great job with his whole line of products.
Really great people.
He has anything from mustache wax to female products as well. It's not just dude stuff.
They've got like, you know, sea salt spray for your hair. They've got chapstick, and they've got knuckle
right there,
saver,
sea salt spritz.
knuckle
Knuckle savers like that.
Yeah.
So
And all
please,
of that
absolutely,
is also raising funds for Brothers Helping Brothers, which
a great charity.
raises funds for equipment for small and rural fire departments.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad we came upon this page to talk about that real quick. So if anybody hasn't done it yet, visit Stash Salt. You can also go to Mercedes, the swag shop as well. And honestly, I'm actually really happy about the swag shop, and we'll go on that. I'm sorry I got distracted. Like firefighters, we all have ADD, right? So as soon as I saw the shiny penny, I had to go to it. So real quick, the Stay Salty Summer, always be stretching. And there's some great swag on here. And I'm going to also give a shout out to my homeboy, Lenny Brown from Notorious Fire. You guys also teamed up with him. So he makes your swags. So he prints that out and sends it to all over everywhere. Yeah,
for some of them. Like we have different partners for different things. But yes, Lenny is amazing. I love Lenny. He has a special place in my heart. And I appreciate everything he does for us.
Yeah, he's a solid guy. I love him very much.
Yeah.
So that's real quick there. If you guys want to visit that page, there's some great swag on there right now, but summer is ending, so get on there soon. And you'll see what that's all about. So I'm going to go back to here. So we have here about your specs here. So you got the Super 2, you got Kraken XO, and then the Mega Flow. And all these here will tell you on this about how to get your friction loss and your specs. And so who is doing this? Who is entering all this information?
Engineering gives them to me, and my team enters all the specs. So we've got our entire hose lineup on. If you go to the hose specs at the top, you can see the whole lineup, which is more than just those three. And then when you click into them, you can, when you scroll down in a product, you can select the size that you want to look at so that you can get the specs for that size. And you can, it'll show you everything that you really should need to know. So like
that's fantastic.
Yeah, you can see there's a little drop down for like 1.5 3/4, or 2.5, because those are the two sizes that EXO Metro comes in. And then you can see a bunch of details, all the details.
And I see on here too is you also have your barcode. Caleb Langer did a great presentation when he came to my town that I work in, and he talked about the couplings, because what's really cool is that you guys really think of a lot of good stuff. I love the reflective on the couplings for the way out. You know, we always say smooth bump to the pump, but you also now have your arrows with reflective tape to show, you know, that's the way out.
Yeah.
But you also have barcodes, and I'll let you talk about it. So what are the barcodes for?
Well, those are our we call them identify slot. So they're like a recessed label area, and you can use we have different things you can get on them, but one of them is barcodes. So you can put anything on them. Like we like to put, I'm in marketing, so I like to put silly stuff like be legendary, you know, whatever phrase I'm trying to use at that moment. But you know, it's great for keeping track of inventory, right? So if you can inventory all your hose, and you can make sure you're keeping track of it as you do testing and as you rotate hoses through your department. You can also just get reflective things, so just more reflection to kind of help you see your hose better. And we're actually working with a big department to look at putting some RFID technology in those identify slots, so it's not just barcodes that you can keep track of your inventory with, but also RFID.
That's really cool. I love that. That's a smart idea. And so then you also have the campaigns of Be Legendary and Make the Push. So what is Be Legendary and Make the Push about?
So Be Legendary came from, I mean, our big hose is the Kraken. Obviously, Kraken is legendary, right? The Kraken is a legendary creature. And it's, you know, the more I thought about the way I've experienced our product in this community and the way that people talk to me about our product, it felt more and more like, you know what, like this product lives up to its name. Like it does. Like it lives up to being this legendary attack tool, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to play on that. And then of course, like I drew this little guy who's become quite popular, and I love that because
So you drew this guy.
yeah, I did. Yeah, that guy.
So
I draw all the variations of the Kraken that you find. I drew one for Hen and Mercedes because we partnered up at FDIC. So yeah. So I drew him because I was like, well, I need something to like show. I just wanted something to represent kind of that feeling of and that vibe of like power, but you know, legendary power, that strength and that I don't know, just that vibe.
just,
That's what I
I
wanted.
got you.
But yeah, so Be Legendary came out of that, and I think it was not only geared towards our product being legendary, but so I mean that's where it started in my head, and then it kind of turned into this campaign where it was about you know you choosing to be the guy who knows what they're talking about. You choosing to be the one who's leading the charge and advancing the line. And I don't mean that literally. I mean that like, you know, in terms of you're leading, you know, in your department to push for better, to push the fire service for good. That's what it was about. It was about, you know, always pushing. I think there's I don't have it on this one, but there some of my swag that I did for that first run of Be Legendary was, I think it had persistent, passionate, persistent, and positive were the three words that I came up with, and that was about that's what it embodies to me is having a passion for the craft, being persistent in pursuing that passion and pushing that passion forward, which is where Make the Push comes from or comes into play. And then positivity, because I'm a positive person and I, you know, have to imbue my positivity into things. But also because there is so much positivity in this community. Like when you see people lift each other up and be part of that brotherhood, it's just beautiful. So I feel like if you're going to be legendary, you really should consider being positive in how you leave that legend, right? You don't want to be
Man, I love it.
yeah, it's less about being like, you know, a legendary bad guy and more about being a legendary good guy, you know?
I really do. I think you nailed it with the three P's.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. And so does the legendary and the push, they come together, or
Yeah.
is Make the Push now a separate kind of thing?
They do. I use them both together because it was like Be Legendary, Make the Push. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like, but then also I use Make the Push kind of on its own sometimes with like, when I promote, I have a skeleton that's holding the Super 2 and, you know, that one being more about being able to make the push because the product is, you know, is working harder for you, is working smarter for you, right? If
Sure.
so, yeah, that one is about more like that one's more tactical, more literal.
I love it. I love it, man. That's
Yeah.
great. And now, so with being a marketing director and believing in this product so much, I'm sure you guys do a lot with customer surveys and feedbacks. Um, how much do you listen to them? Like, do you get a lot of that? And do you try to change whatever is you're getting a lot of feedback from, or do you not get any?
Um, I get a lot of so we do get feedback. I see everything that comes in from knowyourhose.com. So if you send a note on there, I'm seeing it. I usually see everything that comes through Instagram between myself and Vanessa. We see all the Instagram messages and we try to always answer people and respond to people. Um, so we do get a lot of feedback. Usually, thankfully, it's usually very positive. I mean, we do get the occasional, you know, frustration over things, or confusion, or just like needing help. And we're always happy to help. We usually are guiding them to one of our demo guys so that they can talk through the issue, or, making sure they're connecting to their sales rep if they're having bigger issues, right? But yeah, so I do get a lot of feedback. Thankfully, it's mostly positive. And of course, like I always take it to heart if it feels sincere. Like, I mean, if you're being a jerk, then that's on you. But
Yeah.
if it feels like sincere feedback, then of course, like I'm going to take it into consideration. I had someone actually the other day recommend that they told me that I need to make some kind of stickery swag thing for pump operators, because if you didn't send it,
Oh.
because if they didn't send it, there'd be no water on the other end. So yeah. So I'm
I like
currently
that.
noodling that one.
I can see a lot. I can see it going a lot of cool ways. That's actually a really good idea. I like that.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned it sparked my interest. You have a demo and then you have a sales.
Yes.
So you have two different people. Tell me about that.
Yes. We have two different crews or teams. My sales crew is what it sounds like. They're the sales reps. They're the ones where we work through distribution, right? So our sales reps have distributors, and they're the ones that actually get you your hose, right? They're the ones that process your orders, and they process they do process demo requests. But so like if you sent a demo request through, it would go to my sales rep, like Jamie is your New England sales rep. And then he would call on our demo crew to come be the consultant on the ground for us there. So our demo crew very well. Mike Sherb, Caleb Langer, I've got Kevin Fluger, and then we also have Jordan Hempker in Ohio. And we've had others come and go, and other people we work with who are like who are maybe not official demo crew, but sort of like um, still part of our extended family. So yeah, those guys are not. Now Kevin recently did become a sales rep. He moved, he moved roles.
Sure.
But that was like an intentional change. So he's moved into the other team now, but he's still very much on the ground, and he's still Kevin, right? He's still Kevin Fluger, and he's always going to be that guy who never who stands up for what he stands up for, and teaches you because he cares. So our demo crew they are firefighters who believe in our products enough to come work on our behalf to help other people understand their hose better, to help them know their hose better, to help them have a chance to try the hose with someone there to give them the hands-on knowledge that they might need. Because if you're not used to flowing low pressure nozzles and low pressure hose, then if you're used to high pressure or fog nozzles, you're probably going to have a bit of a learning curve for how our hose might feel flimsy and floppy to you, right? Because it's different.
Yeah.
It's a different purpose. So that's their job, is they go out and they consult, and they give you the tools that you need and the knowledge that you need, and they make sure that they're troubleshooting for you. A lot of times, like Caleb is great. He wrote a series of articles on Know Your Hose called Right Sizing Supply. He's got a passion for the supply side of things, which is totally different from everybody else I had worked with up to that point, where supply was kind of just it's big hose, but Caleb has a passion for it, and he really believes that there should be a strategy to your supply. So Caleb is this resource of supply knowledge that we can send to people and say, hey, you're looking to get your whole hose, your whole truck. You're getting a new truck, right? You're designing your hose bed. Let's talk. Let's make this work for you, and let's talk about how you might be able to strategize for your particular district and your particular department. Same with Jordan. He kind of specializes in rural departments because that's where he's from, and he's had to manage the mismatched hose that's all over the place, that's like 20 years old. Like he's had to go through those departments. He's had to go through departments that have literally zero like engine ops, like SOP or anything, right? Like they've got like he's written the Bible for some of his departments. So
Yeah.
he has the knowledge to say, okay, let me help you. Here's what your department, tell me about your runs, tell me about your district. Let's talk about it. What do you need to cover? Let's figure out what might work best for you, you know? So yeah,
That's
and
great.
they don't work on commission or anything. So that's what keeps we, I don't want to use these, like, it sounds bad, but it's like we keep it pure, like it's like you keep
Sure.
that part. That part is about the craft, not commission, right? So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
great. I love it. That makes it definitely more driven, like you said, about the craft. And I love that you have really experienced people providing that knowledge, and they're not in the back of their mind. They're not worried about, how many sales or, the commission they're making. They just care that they're delivering a good product to the
yeah,
people that need it. And that's what
yeah,
really matters the most, because if it's commission driven, like, you can have some really crappy company out there selling some really crappy hose because they have higher commission rates and that's all they care about.
yeah.
And I love that you guys are really about the mission, about good product, but you want solid, knowledgeable people putting the hose in the people that in the hands of people that really need to learn about that education. That's
Yeah,
great.
I think it's the transparency for me. Like it's all about transparency for us, and and uh, just having that authentic viewpoint from an actual firefighter who uses this hose and who really does, stand on it, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, we could also, firefighters are really good about smelling out bullshitters too.
Yeah,
So, you
it's
got
so
people.
true. It's so true.
So if you got people out there that don't know what they're talking about and they get presented some really good questions, and you don't know how the answers to it, they'll be like, well, I'm not going to buy from you
Yeah.
because you
And I
obviously
mean,
don't know this product.
yeah, and I mean our demo crew, like I'm not gonna, like they're they understand that there's other products on the market. They understand that there might be a product that fits what you're looking for that maybe isn't ours, and that kind of sucks, but you know, like that's
Yeah.
just the way it is. They're not gonna recommend something to you that's not the right choice, that they actually believe in, and they recognize that we're not gonna be the choice every time. That there's gonna be departments that go a different direction because they're prioritizing a different part of their feature package than our hose does, right?
And then all the product is made in Canada as well?
Yes, we have 3 factories in Canada. They're all kind of around the Montreal area. Um, but we kind of consider ourselves a North American made hose because we do import most of our aluminum, and for our couplings, the aluminum and any steel is coming from Pennsylvania. Um,
Oh,
and yeah, obviously we work with a lot of people in the States. So, but we assemble it and we weave the hose jackets and mill the couplings all in our factories and outside of Montreal.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
very cool. So a little bit about you again. So in your bio, you said beyond your roles, you're a proud advocate, a storyteller, and the wild hair chameleon. So what is it that you're advocating?
I so when I the biggest ones, if I was going to bucket it, it would be mental health and cancer decon and detection, like early detection. So cancer awareness.
Hmm.
And mental health has a personal side for me. Like I have had my own mental health battles. I've been in the dark and had to climb out over years. And I've gotten through that. So I hold a very big place in my heart for people who are hurting and struggling, and I really hate to think that they're having to go through that alone, or that they're feeling alone in that. So for me, it's very personal, and that became something very quickly in the fire service that I was like, this is what I care about as a personal like mission.
Mm.
It I actually I will credit people like you know Rob Ridley from National Fire Radio and the Frontline Mindset podcast. Um, Rob became my friend really really early. Like he was one of the first people that became my friend in this industry, and um, you know I learned a lot about the community through him. He was kind of like the guy he was like my insider guy that was like, this is what they mean when they say this. And like, he was kind of my guy for like explaining the stuff that went down, that goes down around the kitchen table and stuff, and just how hard, some of these calls can be, and how much they weigh on you. And, and then other people, Kevin Pfluger, he's big with the Next Rung organization, and they're a firefighter mental health charity. He put them into my radar because he is one of their he's one of the peer support people, right? So he mentors people that way, and he's had his own stories that he's told me of friends who've been through things like that. And I think it's already personal to me because I've been through so much of that. And then having so many friends now in the fire community, it's like I would be so heartbroken if I found out that y'all were hurting and I didn't know, you know? So
Sure.
I want to make sure you guys have the tools that you need. And that's why that's why organizations like Next Strong, who offer peer-to-peer support and grants for, they offer actual like professional counseling and stuff specifically for you guys. Because, I've even had guys tell me, I had a firefighter once at FDIC. It was really, really, really late at night. It was like we've been partying a while, but they told me some really horrible stories, and that they were struggling, right? And I just, and they told me like I can't go to a therapist because they just don't get it, right? Like they just
Yeah.
don't. They're useless to me, right? And that's why I think it's important to have specialized organizations like Next Rung that focus um, on firefighter relations in the mental health, right? Mental health issues.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
You really immersed yourself in all of it. And you just also said that you were really into cancer awareness as well. So
Yeah.
how did you really get into that? Is that having to do with understanding what we're doing and our risks?
Yes. I mean, that obviously plays a huge role in it. And even before I was in this role, like I was working with Soot Soap, and she developed that product. She's my best friend, and she developed that product because, her husband would come home smelling like smoke, and she'd be like, go shower. And he's like, I've had 3 showers. And she's like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not good. So then she started doing research into, how much, what it means if you're still smelling, you're still contaminated. Like you're still
Yeah.
covered in stuff, right? So for her, it became this personal passion to like stop that. She was like, I need you to be able to shower once and come home smelling clean, because I do not want you bringing that into my house, into our house with our daughter, and putting us all at risk. And yeah, so I mean that was something I already was very knowledgeable about. And Dee's passion for personal decon is contagious. Like she's so almost like infuriatingly passionate about it, right? Like it infuriates
Yeah.
her that people don't wash with better soap, you know? Like so yeah, I think that's where that came from. And then I've worked with organizations like we did Detect Now was one of the organizations that I did a campaign with. They also worked with like Jason from Firehouse Coffee, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So they had done a whole campaign that was about first responders and early cancer detection. So I learned a lot through them about how early cancer detection makes such a difference in the outcome. And through that, I ended up pairing with like Pip from the Size Up and doing a little thing with him at FDIC where we promoted Check Your Equipment, which was a really fun one to promote because it was, a little funny. But we had some really funny conversations with people where
I bet.
at FDIC where we were telling them to, check their equipment because it was prostate cancer awareness month. Yeah. And so I mean we had great conversations with people to teach them about early detection. And I met one person who you know I heard a lot of stories about people who were like super young and getting cancer. And one of them like their wife just got pregnant, and then they got cancer. And it was just like really sad stuff like that where I was like, this shouldn't be the way. Firefighting shouldn't have to be, you know, cancer shouldn't have to be a given, right? If that
You're
makes
right.
sense.
It's no, you're absolutely right. It's unfortunate, but it is great that I think that we're doing better as a fire service as a whole,
Yeah.
of really putting it out there that there's hazards, not just fighting structure fires, but after the fire is over, and how to decon and take care of ourselves. And then especially obviously with the gear we're wearing,
Yeah.
that's a big drive, and they're really trying to push hard to get those chemicals out of our gear. Now it's a requirement, it's a legal requirement that the manufacturers of our gear has to put in that description that these are the chemicals they use, and these are the issues that could come up
Hmm.
with these chemicals used to help make it, water repellent or heat resistant. So
Yeah.
they've gotten better, but unfortunately they're still in our gear. But we're fighting it hard to make sure that we're
Yeah.
deconning and taking good precautions about the exposure in our gear. But like you said, there's hazards, and it's the gear, but it's still the soot and everything else. It is still saturating into our skin,
Yeah. I
and
mean, our
it's
hoses like don't have any PFAS or anything in them. Like they don't have anything like that, but obviously they're dragged through all the gunk, right?
yeah,
So, you have to wash your hose, because if you don't wash your hose, you're just continuing to contaminate yourself. Hopefully you're not handling your hose with bare hands. They're using gloves most of the time, just in
yeah.
case. If it's been used on the fire ground, you should always be wearing gloves. So that stuff's
I
important.
like, man, that is some good tips right there.
Yeah,
Always wear your gloves when
always
handling
wear your
your
gloves
hose.
when handling your hose.
But you're right though too.
Yeah,
Like it's funny to say, but hey, there's another good marketing push right there. I mean, I have a bunch of images in my head from that,
I know.
but
Hose
you're absolutely right.
hose is the best
Like
because
you
I
have
can make all the jokes, right? Like it's so
right.
good.
But you're absolutely 100% accurate, though. We do. I mean, we kind of get laxed on some of the things that we do when we're cleaning up after a call. But definitely wearing our gloves when we're handling the stuff after the
Yeah,
incident is super important. When we're washing down our gear, when we're handling our gear, like for a lot of departments now, everything's bagged after the fire. And when we go to decon it, we're wearing gloves. It's going to the extractor. Sometimes we have to do multiple washes on it. And I'll even give a shout out to Redline, because Redline was at FDIC there, and plus they're from New England.
yeah,
Redline's been doing fantastic things, helping people and departments to get their gear cleaned efficiently
yeah.
and effectively. Like, man, he did a commercial where he showed the water after he filters it, and he was able to drink the water
Wow,
after. I mean,
that's
that's some
amazing.
trust right there.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could do that, but
yeah,
the fact that he's getting rid of all these nasty things in our gear, and the water comes out clean afterwards after all the filtration.
yeah,
So there's companies out there that are doing great things to help us to get our stuff decon. Not only are they just deconning the actual jacket and pants, but they're deconning our equipment, like our helmets. Like,
yeah,
we forget the helmet part, right? So like he's able to decon that and get that clean and ready to go. And they put it back together. They put it in bags up by the lockers, and we're ready to rock again.
yeah.
And he was at FDIC. He proved that he could do a lot with his crew and get all that gear washed up for all those evolutions that people are doing at FDIC. And
Hmm.
talking about FDIC, you guys had a blast at FDIC.
We
You
always have
guys
a
seem to have a
blast.
lot of fun.
That's the homecoming, man. It's like homecoming and family reunion all at once. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I love it so much. I was so scared the first FDIC that I went to. I was so sure that y'all were gonna be like, who is this girl with, like, what does she know? And like, I don't, I was so afraid I was gonna be like feeling completely unaccepted in this industry.
Yeah.
And no, that was not the case. You're a very welcoming group. So I appreciated
Firefighters
that.
love to talk about. We love to talk about what we do.
Yeah.
We especially, more than anything, we'd love to talk about our craft to people who don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the great, right?
Yeah.
We could talk. That's why I do this. Because I love talking about it.
The funniest thing, the first FDIC I was there was when we launched Super 2. So I was like super nerd, like super all like I had all these knowledge points, like all these data points in my head from Super 2, and I was like on it. And I was literally in the bar at 2 in the morning, like, and having discussions about how you should, like, why you need to pair certain hoses with certain nozzle sizes, and like why you would save 30% of your water weight if you use Super 2 instead of a regular 2.5-inch hose, and how like nobody
Wow.
really talks about the charged inner diameter. Everyone always talks about the just the basic inner diameter, and that's not telling you anything. Like, I was going on and on, but they were
Wow.
but legit, like, y'all firefighters were sitting there 10 beers deep still talking to me about this stuff. Like, you wouldn't stop talking about it either. So it was it was really great, and it's always been like that. I always end up having these great conversations about fire hose, 1 in the morning in Indy.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
it's a
lot of
great
fun.
networking experience too, right? Like
Totally.
the atmosphere, like you said, like you can make friends with anybody there. The networking is top notch.
Yeah.
And honestly, getting to see some of the newest and latest technology
Yeah.
and inventions that people have made, and they're presented there at FDIC. The classroom education is fantastic,
Yeah.
but it's really cool just to talk to so many people that bring so much to the table, and just all these new products that are out there you normally don't get to see. That's the place to put your hands on it. Like, you guys you have your demonstration with your hose,
Hmm.
and you have your booth as well.
Yep.
And so you team up with a lot of people at FDIC to present your hose and how to actually uh, talk to the other guys and present it and how to handle it. And
Yeah.
who do you select for that? I know you have Kevin and you have Caleb. So when you go to FDIC, you already have in your mind of who you want there to help market it, your hose line and your product?
Above all, I really value all my demo crew. Like, they were all there this year. And it made a huge difference, because it's like I said, it's the family reunion. So it's that one
Yeah,
time a year where we are all in the same place, and we're busy and we're doing stuff, but we also get time to hang out together and to have that camaraderie. And also, it's just amazing to watch them talk about, the host. So like, I find that in the booth, like, yes, our sales guys are there. Like, at least a couple of, like, Jamie will be there, and Alan, and Bob, our president, comes down every year. They're all there, and they need to be there to have their conversations with distributors and with customers. But I find the demo crew, those guys have conversations with, you know, your frontline firefighters, where they're like, let me tell you about this hose. Like, let me tell you why it matters. Let me tell you why it makes a difference. Let me tell you about, where this hose could make a huge difference in your attack package. Right. So their expertise is bar none. And I really value all of them there. So it's hard to be like, who would I pick? Well, obviously Kevin has to be there, because he's been there since he's been with me since I started. So Kevin's my guy, but I guess he's on sales now. So he's still a demo crew guy at heart, though. Um,
sure.
yeah, I mean, definitely Caleb. Like I said, his side of supply is an under talked about topic, and so I think having him on site to talk about that is great. Yeah, and I mean, Mike Sherb, Jordan, they all have their value, and they all do. The conversations I hear in the booth are just awesome. Like, they're just really
Yeah.
great conversations.
That's fantastic. And
Yeah,
again, it comes back to the product of them believing it and trusting it, and want to make sure the firefighters have the best product to do
yeah,
the job that we love.
yeah,
And icing, again, the icing on the cake is being able to go to places like FDIC and network and meet a bunch of great
yeah.
people, and and hang out and have fun.
Yeah, I
And
mean, my favorite,
that's what
I'm always so happy, like, that, like, we usually get to hang out with Ray McCormick at FDIC. Him and his crew, we usually give them our hose for their hot class. So he does a bunch of hose related stuff in one of the parking garages there. So I get to come see that, and I get to watch them in action. And we're really grateful for that partnership and that support. Um, Ray's an amazing guy too. Like, he has so much experience in this industry. And then, he's been working with Hen. So we paired up with Hen this last year, and we were out there in their flow zone outside, and really showing off how their force, the turbo, makes an impact in the back pressure of smaller lines in particular, like the 1.5 inch, and really increases the performance on it. And yeah, like I'm grateful for those types of relationships and partnerships. It's great to have those people in our corner and supporting us and us supporting them. Like we like supporting. I love Hen because they were a big innovation, right? And like Mercedes stands a lot. Like our tagline is technically innovation delivered. So, we believe in innovation for the fire service. We believe in advancing the fire service for the good. And Hen has some really great stuff that they've done. So yeah, I mean all nozzles, like we partner with all nozzles. Our hose matches with all the nozzles, but Hen was great last year inviting us out to be part of their flow zone. And we'll be out. I think we'll have a little booth outside of our own next to them next year. So that'll be fun.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, where else are you guys going to be for this upcoming wherever these
Oh
couple
man.
months?
We're in a lot of places, kind of all over the place, some big, some small. I know that one of the next ones is the FDNY High Rise Symposium. We're going to be there because we have a special place. There's a special place in our heart for the FDNY, like the New York Fold and that pack that we worked with, like Ray McCormick. Actually, I think we're going to be giving away this really
Oh,
pretty coupling that is signed by Ray McCormick. Uh,
keep firing your life. I like it.
yeah, keep firing your left. This is one of the original couplings so we had to make a special coupling for them for FDNY. So this is one of the original FDNY spec couplings that I cleaned up and re-anodized. So
That is
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, it even says FDNY 2.5. I don't know if you can see that. Though. You probably can't see that, but yeah. So
All
we'll
right.
be
So you're
there.
going to be FDNY. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna be FDNY. We're gonna be. I'm trying to think of my calendar right now. We've got Fire in the Sky in Texas. That's also in September. That's another high rise one. We're gonna be in Santa Monica in January, doing Long Live the Engine. Um, we're, we've been to this year Great Lakes Hot, March Mayhem. Um, we kind of go all over the place. We don't get to as many as we want. There's always more,
Hmm.
and there's always more we would love to support. But we do try to get to as many as we can and
Sure.
show up wherever we can because we know that hands-on is the best way to really experience any any fire hose. But in particular, we feel it makes a huge difference in handling ours. So
That's great. You guys I know you guys keep yourselves pretty active. I see stuff all over social media. You guys
yeah,
are always demoing hose and always just out there spreading the good word
yeah,
and getting your product out. And it's again, it speaks for itself. You guys do a great job with delivering such an amazing product. And
thanks.
I got to see and hear Caleb Langer present the reason why Mercedes is Mercedes when he came to Dairy,
Mhm.
and it was a great presentation. We had a full day of flowing water and Kevin talking about the product. We got the flow, the Hen nozzles, and it was actually a great day. And just being able to feel the difference from what we currently run with Mercedes, it was a night and day kind of thing.
Yeah,
And I love seeing people's faces when they get to experience that
yeah,
difference of hoses that's aged out to now a newer hose, but not just a new hose, but it's literally got the backing of science and technology and the
yeah,
reason why, like you talk about, like lighter hoses and
yeah,
the fact that their material that's used is to help us not have to work as hard.
yeah,
And it's a great, like I said, it's a great idea of how you guys market it. And I love that the product's been around for 50 years and you guys are here for us. You're here for the mission.
yeah.
You're here for us to help make our jobs better.
Yeah, that's a great summary of what I feel around this product and my job. And I feel very grateful to this community that they've, that I've gotten to be so much of a part of it and I have so many friends. It's become it's not just a job, it's like a personal like passion. Because
Hmm.
I do really care about the people that I work with. I care about y'all. I'm a tagliner, obviously, like I make taglines constantly, and it's really like, it kind of frustrates me because I'll come up with way too many and then I'll have too many things to promote. But one of the things that I like to sign off on a lot of our stuff with is it's because you're on the line and that matters to us, right? Like this,
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
hose is not just, it's not just, a sale. It's not just a product. Like it's your life on the line. It's other people's lives on the line, for you, for them, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah.
I love it. That's fantastic. And as we're winding down here, my big question for you is, what hair color are you going with next?
Ugh, I'm almost getting too old to keep switching these hair colors. My favorite
Uh-huh.
combo is blue and purple, blue with
Okay.
purple on the bottom. It's so hard to get blue. So I'm probably going to go with red again, like a bright red. Um, and maybe I'll throw some purple in for fun on the bottom. But yeah,
Okay.
let's see.
So,
I don't show my face much on social or anything. This is kind of a treat, but I will always show my face around FDIC. So that's when I get to come out to play. So
okay. So I'll have to, hopefully I get to go to FDIC next year.
yeah,
So I
come hang
look
out in our booth
forward.
again. Come
Yeah,
do
no,
some more
and you know what?
interviews.
I loved that very much. You guys, that was so nice of you guys to invite me to be there, to have me sit down and interview just everyone. And that
Yeah,
was great. Like knocking out if like 15-minute interviews, like
I
back to
loved
back to
it.
back to back. It was
Yeah,
a lot of
I
fun.
know you
And
got so many great people to talk to, and like those are guys that we see most of the time. All of them come by our booth at some point in time, but I love having that little desk and having somebody back there talking. Like we did our own thing last year, but I think it's really fun when we have guest hosts like you that can come
yeah.
make something special out of that area. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a blast. I definitely, I hope maybe we can do it again next year.
I think we can.
But I also look forward to seeing what hair color you got, because that was my big thing. Like
You're
you got
setting the
your, it
bar
says
high.
wild hair
I
color
know.
chameleon. So I'm expecting something really, really sharp
Oh
for
man.
FDIC
All
next year.
right.
So don't
All right.
disappoint me, because I'm waiting
Okay.
for it. I'm anticipating. I
All
got
right.
suspense building for
Well,
this.
I already
Uh,
did the sequin dress last year too. Like I
yes, you
had the
did. That
sequin
was
dress. So I'm trying to decide if I can rewear the dress or if I have to get a new dress this
gotcha.
year. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think about it, and I will think of something special just for you, Mike,
I
for
love that.
hair.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Man, well, Lydia, this was a blast. I really appreciate you being on here and talking about the company and us learning about you, because I love talking to the guys that are out in the field doing this stuff. But sometimes it's really, really cool to talk to the person who's behind the scenes, and the ones that are making these posts, the ones they're developing the imagery and the phrases for the company. And again, it's not just some person sitting behind the computer just thinking up a random stuff and hopefully it hits some kind of heartstrings for us, but you're actually putting thought, because you're developing this because you care about what we're doing. The fact that you care about our mental health, you care about our physical health with cancer, and you want us to also be working with something that's going to keep us safe in those bad environments, but also be able to protect the people that we swore an oath to.
Absolutely.
So it means a lot. Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
This was super
I loved
fun.
it.
This was way less
This is
scary
always a
than I thought
blast.
it was going to be.
I'm not a scary person, so this
No,
always
you're
makes it
not.
easier for
You're
people.
not. Yeah.
But I really appreciate it. And you did mention it. I just want everybody to understand, like, mental health is a real thing. It's important you guys get help. And I always love to give the shout out to the Next Rung boys. So Next Rung, please, if you guys need help, there's the card right there. Please reach out to them. And there's the barcode right here. So please, the first step of getting help is actually talking about it, talking to somebody. So if you need help, talk to Next Rung. You can use that barcode. You can use these numbers that I presented on the screen. They do a great job with getting help to the people that need the help. But you got to make the first step, and you got to reach out to them. They will talk you through these things. I've had the pleasure of talking to people who actually been real. I don't want to say clients of them, but they've just been there, helped by Next
by
Rung.
them, right? Yeah.
They've been helped. Yeah. And so it works. Trust me, it does work.
Yeah.
But again, you got to pick up that phone and you got to talk to them, and you can text them, you can email them, you can call them. They'll set up appointments for you. They'll look up to where there's people in your area that can help get the help that you need. So please, by all means, reach out to Next Rung. There's also the First Responder Center for Excellence with Frank Lieb and Dina Ali. They do great things for first responders. They are huge advocates for mental health and for cancer awareness. So please utilize them as well. You can find them on social media. They're very good with that. So just find those avenues, reach out to those people. And if you need assistance, I'm here to help all of you. I love helping people. That's why we do this job that we do. And this is just another platform to be able to help all of you. So Lydia Jackson, thank you so much for being on the C.A.N. Report. It was an extreme pleasure. I love learning more about you and what you do for the company at Mercedes Textiles. If you guys ever have any questions, please reach out to her. She's who she is. She's real, she's transparent, and she's got amazing hair color. Lydia Jackson, thank you so much. Stay safe. I love you. Nozzle Top.